This is Soy,
And this is Dayra,
and you're listening to Hair and Whatever.
Unfiltered Salon Talk. Hey, y'all. Hey, so and Dayra here from Hair and Whatever. And today we have a special guest, but she's coming on later. Her name is Jewel Hunter, and we'll get into that later. But what are we talking about today, Soy?
Y'all just got us right now, okay? So talking about protecting your hair versus neglecting your hair. And we're going to talk with, like we said, Jewel Hunter with face-to-face education versus virtual education, which we know like a lot of y'all are going through right now.
Yes. But first, let's get into the hair crown of the week.
I don't have it in me to do something like this, but
Me either.
like it's so fly. It reminds me of like sci-fi.
Exactly. On some travelers type. Yeah, I love the vibe. But yeah, it's a shortcut, and the hairstylist, we got it from a hairstylist, right? But
Out of Russia.
yeah, but the person, guys, don't shoot me for this, but I'm about to say her name and I'll probably chop it up and not say it correctly. Shadurskaya underscore VU, VYU. So
Yeah,
I'll put it on here.
she did that. Okay, she did it.
Yeah,
So
it's dope as hell. And she does like different styles, like this hairstylist does different styles, short, like, like with the, I guess, razor, whatever. I'm not familiar with all this stuff, but yeah, it's
some of
dope.
the stuff look like it got like crop circles in her hair, yo.
Exactly. She said crop circles. All right, so let's get into it. Protecting your hair versus neglecting. And we're really talking about protective styles. Protective styles is a big topic, and something that we always are talking about, Soy and I. So yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah. So like, okay, here's the thing with the protective styles. No one is saying that the protective styles are bad, but it's the practice of the protective styles that we find that is the issue. Um, I feel like a lot of people, when they're wearing the protective styles, they're not considering that the scalp actually needs to be clean. And they don't really associate the scalp with skin. And that's essentially what it is. It's skin and it still needs to be clean. So
Right.
when you come out of the protective style, you have done more harm to your hair than actually protecting it because you haven't had the correct practices throughout the whole,
Right.
wearing of the style.
Right. So
And
I feel
so,
like a
right.
good way to kind of like think about the protective style.
Sorry, my phone just barged in.
So a good way to think about your hair, your scalp, you got to think about it as skin. Your scalp is part of your skin, so you got to treat it like you treat your skin. I'm not saying to to shampoo your hair daily like you would shampoo your like you would shower daily, right? But
Some of okay.
but yeah, so you don't want to wait weeks you're not going to wait weeks to shower, right? At least I hope. You shower daily, so you add products to your hair. You go out, you work out, your hair picks up all of like the pollution, germs, smell. Like even if you go out to a bar or a smoke shop, whatever, your hair's going to smell like that, like, so just
We can tell where y'all been, you know what I'm saying?
oh
Just
yeah.
FYI.
Exactly. We know where y'all been. Like, as a matter of fact, we had a client that had gone to Jamaica or like
Uh-huh.
to an island. And I smell like the whole like
The salt water.
Not the salt water, but just like it reminded me of the Dominican Republic, like me landing, and it smells like, just I can't describe it. You just got to go there. But I told her, she was like, "Oh my God, how did you know?" And I was like, "Because I smell it in your hair." So us stylists like know what you do. If you say, "Yeah, you shampooed your hair last week," we know that you lied. You know what I mean?
Right. You smell the hookah, honey.
And the weed.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing. We ain't judging, but we smell it all. So yeah, like as far as like having a protective style and not doing anything whatsoever while your hair is in a protective style is neglecting.
It's neglected. And the crazy thing is, I know you guys, some of you are just, I want to say you just don't know, like you're ignorant to the fact, and not ignorant as like we calling you out like bad. You just don't know. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people really think that, when they get braids that they can't shampoo the braids or cleanse the scalp, while they have it. I mean, you thinking about it, like you're wearing braids. Some of you guys are wearing braids for 6 to 8 weeks sometimes. And think about just not doing anything to your scalp or removing all of those oils for 6 to 8 weeks. Like that's crazy, but and then still putting oil in your hair because you're like, oh my God, I see a little dry patch right here. The reason why you see that dry patch is probably because your scalp needs some agua, some water.
Exactly. Water. Water,
Right.
baby. Water.
Right.
Yeah. So you had a client recently, right? So that that her scalp was inflamed because she hadn't shampooed in how long, you would say?
I think she said she wore them for like 6 weeks.
Wow.
And she didn't shampoo. And so by the time, so we did about like maybe 4, maybe 5 clarifiers. And I had to do a detox before just to pull a lot of that stuff off. And by the way, a lot of you guys, even when you're getting the braids or protective style in your hair, some of the products that you're using to do those might not even be as healthy.
Exactly.
I mean, like jam and all this stuff. So all of that stuff was inside of her hair, built up. She didn't clean her scalp. So by the time that we removed all those things off of her scalp, you can actually see the scalp red and inflamed from all of the sebaceous glands. It was confused, the flakes building up. It was just, we had to take all that stuff off. So it left the scalp irritated.
Yeah. And a lot of people confuse like, oh, my hair, like what can I do in between time, like with a protective style, because your scalp is gonna start to itch and it's dry. And what's the number one hydrator in the world?
Right.
Agua. So it's important to shampoo your hair, and obviously we're not saying like shampoo your hair like you normally would, but more so concentrate in the root, like a little lightly, so you're not like messing up your braids if that's something that you're afraid of.
All of that.
Exactly. And then go in, obviously still put the deep conditioner or conditioner into your scalp. You can even like bring it down to the braids and all that stuff, and then once you rinse that out, you go in with a little bit of leave-in conditioner and oil, and that would with the leave-in conditioners condition your scalp and hair, and the oil is going to help seal in that moisture.
A good blended oil.
Exactly.
Not oil that are created equal.
Exactly.
On what oil?
Royal Hair Goddess oil. Ow.
Which is a good blended oil for nutrients, not for hydration, but nutrients.
Right. But yeah, I mean, we find people, even with the sew-in, right? Like, I feel like you still, people shampoo their hair less when they have a sew-in, but it should be the same practice, maybe a little less, but you know, if you're shampooing your hair once a week when you don't have nothing, no protective style, you could go maybe 10 days, 2 weeks without shampooing your hair to probably extend that style. But yeah, you should still shampoo. You should still, and obviously it's a lot, right? Because you shampoo what, like, and you have exactly.
I have extensions in my hair, and I shampoo once a week.
Right.
Sometimes I may go like maybe almost 2 weeks, but at that point it's disgusting. So I try to go at least once a week to shampoo my hair.
Yeah, I feel like we also have been conditioned to think that shampooing your hair is going to dry out your hair. But if you're using the right products, it's not going to dry out your hair. Like, you know, so that's something that, you know, forget about the things that you were taught before, right? And kind of like, you know, listen to a professional, you know, like, and I'm not saying listen to us, but do your research, you know, also. Yeah, we know what the hell we talking about.
I'm saying it. Listen to us. We're not gonna steer you wrong.
Yeah, and to me, it's like, you know, what I tell people and my clients, like, try it and see how it works for you. Try it for a whole month. Like, you listen to other people. You listen to bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, why not listen to something that, you know, a professional that knows what they're talking about, you know? And if it doesn't work for you, then that's fine, you know, but at least you say, hey, I tried it, you know?
And, you know, like the thing is, like, I was hearing from so many people that, you know, even with the hair, when the hair is in the sewing, that they just didn't know that they're supposed to get down into the braids, into the scalp. They thought that, oh, well, you know, maybe I'll just shampoo the top of the hair.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, and they didn't know that, oh, you know, to get into well, you know, your hair is still, you still have scalp and your hair is still braided, so that needs to be cleansed, you know?
Yeah,
so.
You need to get into the scalp, which is the most important, you know, it's the foundation, is where the hair grows out of, you know what I mean? It's like if you had bad soil, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're not going to get good fruit.
Right.
You're not going to get fruit if you're not watering it, right? Like, so you got to think about your scalp as also like a plant, you know? So.
Yeah.
Exactly. We could go on and on and on and give you examples about, you know.
Just y'all wash your hair, please, or shampoo. Y'all shampoo y'all hair, okay? Just shampoo your hair, cleanse it out. Think of it as your skin. And you wouldn't do your skin like that. You wouldn't go, you know, weeks without cleansing your skin. So think of your scalp as skin, because it is. And
exactly. And don't use no fucking co-wash either.
Exactly. And we need to have a show about just co-washing. If we didn't, I don't know if we did or not.
We talk about that shit so much that I don't want to talk about. I don't want to have a whole show about co-washing.
Co-washing, right? Co-washing is not shampooing your hair.
Ban co-wash.
Right. No, you need some shampoo, some clarifier, some detox treatment, and deep condition. Okay.
Yeah, go take a shower with lotion and see how that works out.
And put some perfume on after.
Exactly.
Because that's what y'all doing.
But yeah, that's our 2 cents, and that's our hair topic. So we're gonna move along to slip into our DMs. And we have this question: are quick weaves healthy for the hair? See, I don't know shit about quick weaves, so you may want to answer, Soy.
Okay, so I used to do them back in the day, right? So when I would do them, you know, we would put those like little like neckties on the, like we would mold the hair down, we would put the necktie on the hair, and then we would put a cap on that, and then we would glue the weave onto the cap. So that's how I would do it back in the day. And to me, it would have, you know, less glue on the actual hair, because anytime that you're using glue and hair, that just doesn't mix. It's just not healthy to me.
Right.
So that's how I would do it. I don't know if that process evolved. I don't do quick weaves anymore. To me, anytime you mix glue with hair, that I consider that unhealthy.
Exactly.
I mean, but hey, they might have evolved and found another way to make quick weaves healthy. I just don't know. Excuse me, but that's what I would do. That was my healthiest way to do it back in the day.
Yeah, my 2 cents, I really don't know much about quick weaves. I didn't even know what they were until I moved to the South, right?
You know what a quick weave, she ain't
I mean, I'm obviously familiar with like putting hair, you know, the glue and stuff like that, but I didn't know that's what it was called.
the terminology for it.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't feel like glue is healthy for the hair. I know probably like I feel like things have evolved, so I don't do them. So to me, if it's like direct glue on your actual hair, don't do it, sis. Like,
I don't even see how that's healthy. Even if we evolve into something that, you know, is like protecting your scalp from the glue, I just don't, glue and hair just doesn't mix to me.
Exactly.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, sis, you know, I mean, I would just suggest get a sewing.
Exactly. Or don't do. But also, if you want the look, you know what I mean, go for it.
Yeah.
And you know, like, to me, you know, like, obviously judgment free zone, right? Like, you know, you know, because I feel like we don't ever say this, right? But we're coming from a place of love, and we're trying to spread the education of healthy hair practices, you know, because we see a lot of people want healthy hair but don't want to do the work for it, or are following the wrong things. So, you know, we're just spreading the information, and we're coming from a place of love, you know? So
yeah, so we're just going to tell you to do the healthiest version of whatever that you're trying
considering
to
to do. Yeah. All right, so let's move along to our whatever portion, which is our unfiltered salon talk. And we're going to invite our special guest, Jewel Hunter, on. So yeah, she's about to come on.
Talk about face-to-face versus virtual learning.
Yeah. And we have a special guest for our unfiltered salon talk. And can you introduce yourself? Tell us who you are. What do you do?
Absolutely. My name is Jewel Hunter. I'm the executive director at Devyne Stephens Academy. And we're a private school and we're nestled in Rockdale County.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, so you work with tell us a little bit about the school, because I haven't heard anything about the school, and actually the first time is when our friend Angela told us about it, and I just want to hear more about the school. From what she told me, that it was going to be more like a Ron Clark Academy type.
So Devyne Stephens Academy, it is a performing arts school, and we have a very original style. So we do an individualized curriculum. We have a 15-to-1 student-teacher ratio in all of our core classes. We take a holistic approach to education. So we service our kids socially, emotionally, academically, and pretty much in that order. We find that if a child is suffering socially or emotionally, we can never reach them academically. So we got to make sure we meet those points. We excel in not only academics, but in the arts. With Devyne Stephens, that's where education and the arts collide. So we have drama and dance and vocals. They put on amazing performances every year. And then in athletics, our basketball team are 2-year state champions, 2 years in a row, 3 years in a row, national champions. So we pretty much pride ourselves in excellence.
Oh, so is this a high school or is this grade school?
It's actually K through 12. So we cover it all.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. And like, I've noticed like this, you know, since we're doing the whole virtual learning, like a lot a lot of focus is being on the SEL, the social and emotional learning. That's what I noticed a lot.
Absolutely. And we're doing it a little bit differently. We have a hybrid, so we offer some traditional, we do offer some virtual and some online. So we kind of mix it all in there in order to make sure that we can make the best fit for our scholar as well as for our parents.
Oh, okay. So some of the students do actually come in, and then some of the kids some of them are face-to-face, and then others are actually doing online.
Absolutely. We found that, you know, when COVID first hit, it kind of put us all in just a push and everybody was sent home. And some students were not as successful virtually as others. And so we had to come up with a solution for that. So what we did was we created a hybrid program, which would allow those students that need that one-on-one, that personal touch, an opportunity to come in, still in a safe environment. We still follow the protocols of the CDC. And be able to get a lot of the one-on-one that they need. And when they go home, any questions that they have, they can bring them in when they come in for their one-on-ones.
Right.
It's crazy because like, I feel like that the whole virtual learning thing is like something that's like, that we're like moving towards, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
I feel like the school system hasn't really changed since the Industrial Revolution, and that actually this is almost like a push to do something different. Like we're kind of like at the frontier of, you know, the whole internet, like the whole, you know, what do you call it? Like the information age. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's the new norm.
Right. It's the new norm. And I feel like, I don't know. I mean, you can give me your opinion, but I don't know if it'll go back, or maybe it might be here to stay, or maybe it'll be like a hybrid sort of thing, like moving forward.
I absolutely think it'll be a hybrid. It's definitely not going anywhere. So we've been introduced to it and it's here to stay. Some parents absolutely love it. And for certain learning styles, it really works. At Devyne Stephens Academy, we teach to every learning modality, whether it is auditory, visual, kinesthetic. And however, those kinesthetic learners, they tend to struggle a little bit with the virtual. And so they may need more of a hybrid, but as far as the virtual, you're right. I don't think it's going anywhere either.
I think it's like a new option for like, you know, like, which I feel like, you know, I think is good in a sense because you have so many different types of families now and so many different types of, you know, working styles. Like we're not like traditional people anymore where we have like your standard 9 to 5. Like people are doing, like, you know, some people's jobs are traveling, like people's families travel, you know, and so online education is, you know, a great option for those families, you know, where other families maybe face-to-face would work a little bit better. But yeah.
Yeah, I love it for my son. I think my son does so much better virtually rather than like having so much distractions in the school, and it just works for me. And he, you know, he feels like it works for him as well. So, and I've heard that from a lot of parents, like it just works for them, you know, like, and they're not upset because, you know, they're doing remote learning, you know.
Absolutely.
But I know that there are some disadvantages to, you know, obviously your school does both, but now certain schools are just doing strictly virtual. So like, as far as like the disadvantages for doing online learning, do you find any like struggles, like for the teachers or even for the students?
Some students do find it a little challenging. Parents find it challenging. It's kind of a toss-up. We get a little bit of both. We get parents that are like, I absolutely love it and I'm not going back. And then we, on the other side of that, we get parents that say, listen, I was struggling doing homework and now you got me in here every day, all day, like we got to figure this thing out. So we want to make that's one of the things that we took into consideration when we started planning for this school year, so that we could serve every parent And I think we pretty much covered that with the hybrid. We have the ability to be able to reach out and touch some students, and it's just like us as adults. Some of us can work independently and we can work from home, and we do very well. I know personally, I like brick and mortar when I start talking about going back to school for higher education, just because of the discipline that I possibly could lack if I was to stay at home, you know. So some of our students are the same way, and they're kind of last minute, and they need that extra push, that extra push over the edge to make sure that they get it done. So that was kind of the long way around answering your question to our students. What are some of the challenges? Some of them need that extra encouragement from the teachers, are nurturing. And then you have, unfortunately, you have that side where school was the safe haven for some students.
Right.
And so they needed to get out of the home, and they needed a place to go where they could find some relief, and we offer that. And so we're here for those students as well.
Yeah, I think it's almost like, you know, with anything else, with a lot of different industries like healthcare and whatever, it's almost like a case by case thing. You know, that's what we're moving towards, like case by case. Because like you said, like there are huge disadvantages. Like some kids, you know, going to school was their saving grace. Like they, you know, they didn't even have any food until they went to school, you know? So yeah.
So how did you get your faculty to get all in on the same page to develop like a strategy for like opening? Was that difficult? Like,
so I'm gonna say that I am just blessed with the most amazing staff ever. Like my staff, our students, we don't have scholars, we just have our babies. Like everybody that comes to us, they just belong to us. So getting the buy-in, there was no sale. It was just automatic. Hey, what are we going to do? How are we going to fix this? How are we going to get to the next level and make sure our students are successful? So I didn't really have to sell them on it. They came in running.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm friends with a lot of teachers, and and she was just like going crazy, going nuts. Like she had so much going on, and she was just like, I just can't wait to get back in class. So for the teachers, it is a struggle if the school does, or just maybe the district is not like, you know, all on one page, or maybe the resource is just not there for them. But yeah, like a couple of my friends have said, I hate it. I don't want to do this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I would think from a teacher's point of view, because we are nurturing and maybe not being able to reach out and touch and having to have those video conversations, it causes somewhat of a disconnect, but you have to figure out a way, find a way to get beyond the screen and actually connect, whether it's just with your words, with your sentiment, with your heart. But we just have to find a way to connect because our babies need us.
Right. Yeah. And not only that, but I can see this, like, you know, like Soy said earlier, like, you know, it's shifting to mostly online learning. You know what I mean? I feel like for the little ones is a little difficult to have their attention all the time. But like for, you know, my son is in 7th grade. Like I feel like it works because, you know, he's more independent rather than like maybe a 5-year-old, 6-year-old where they need their parents like right next to them, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And again, with us offering it as a hybrid, and we offer the traditional, we kind of get the best of both worlds. So we get to do the virtual for those that it works for. And then for those that kind of need that extra touch, we're able to do that. So at Devyne Stephens, we win.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit, how did you hook up with, partner up with Devyne Stephens? Like,
that's really, really a good question. It was really just God ordained. He has a nonprofit that works with at-risk youth. And through our school, we service underserved youth or underserved students and scholars. So it just was magical, and it was meant to be. God ordained it to happen. We were at a basketball game, and we began to talk shop, and then the arts and education, that's just where the collision began, and it's been going on ever since.
Oh,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Oh, well, cool. I mean, we just wanted to, like, you know, shine a light on, you know, the whole education thing is back to school. Everyone is kind of like, you know, in a frenzy with this whole COVID thing, and so many people are doing, you know, different things as far as like different, you know, different learning styles, I would say, as far as like some people are doing hybrid and some people are just doing strictly virtual. So we just wanted to, you know, speak with you today about, you know, the school that you are at and what you guys offer. And it sounds really, really cool. How do you handle the performing arts portion? Do the kids actually come in and
Right now it's virtual.
okay.
And so, yeah, so they kind of, they get the best of both worlds. So they get to be at home, and then they get to learn from the experts. So, and in addition, you know, the really exciting part is we get guests that come in and get to speak with them. And so it's almost like you get to invite those guests into your home. So it's really nice and quaint and cozy, and we have a lot of fun with it.
Gotcha.
And now, like, since it's hybrid, how many kids are actually in like one class? Like, how many? What's the number, more or less?
15, right?
So for our core classes, it's still 15 to 1. We want to make sure that all of our students are able to get the one-on-one that they need, because we have a specialized curriculum. Like, we really do an individualized, where one size fit all doesn't work for everybody. So we may have a student that's in the 5th grade, but if they test in 7th grade literature or reading and maybe 5th grade math, we let them, they still move with their peers, with the 5th graders, but they actually work on 7th grade reading, and then they work on 5th grade math, so that we make sure we're filling in the gaps, but we're not holding them behind either.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the fact that the ratio is so small. Like,
Yeah.
that's great.
So how, like, in a classroom setting, like with COVID and all that stuff, like, obviously you're 6 feet or 6 feet away from each other. Like, how does that look in the classroom, walking down the hall and all that stuff?
So all of our students upon admission, they're given a face guard. They're also given a mask. They're required to wear these whenever they're on campus. And when they come in, the rooms are they're clean, they're sanitized. They come in with the foggers on a daily basis and fog the building. They have their temperatures taken when they first enter. So we're really, really safe when they come in. But for those students that don't, they're still a part of the class. Just like we're sitting here virtually, they're also in the classroom, and the class is going on virtually while students are in there as well. So they're participating and actually able to be a part. So they're still able to get that social benefit of being in the classroom. So it's really awesome the way that it's worked out.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's still like, okay, so it's, let's just say maybe there's 7 in a class, but maybe 7 are logged in virtually.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's awesome.
So the little ones keeping on their face mask and they and
so what we did with our kindergarten babies, we know that this is going to be a challenge, which is why we did the face guard, and we chose the one with the glasses. So a lot of times they think they're superheroes, so they'll have them on. We have a couple of students that got really creative, and they put them on the back, so we gave them the ones to put on the front, so that way they can have it all the way around. Whatever works, as long as we stay safe.
Right. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, I know for me, we're strictly doing virtual, and I'm on my 2nd day, and I think I was like a little bit crazy. Like, I couldn't log on. Zoom was having all these issues yesterday. It was just like madness. But, you know, I mean, I feel like, you know, we're going to get through it.
It'll smooth out. You know, in that first week, a lot of times you have some kinks, but it'll smooth out for you.
Yeah. I mean, even when the kids were going to school, the first week is always crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So,
right.
You know, so now, I get it.
Where is the school located?
We're at 1151 Flat Shoals Road in Conyers, Georgia. So
Oh,
we're right off of 138.
Okay.
Yeah.
and
So,
how, like, for, like, let's say if I want my son to go to the school, like, how does he apply, or when can he apply? Because I know certain schools you can only apply at a certain grade level.
And if you're like in the jurisdiction, is it one that you have to be in the jurisdiction, or is it like a magnet program where anyone in the county can apply?
we are a private school, so we're in open enrollment. Yes, as long as there's space available, we're in open enrollment. As long as there's space available in that particular class, we have grants and scholarships that are available in order to be able to serve everyone. We want to make sure that we include all students, that no one is excluded. Everybody deserves to get an amazing education. And all you have to do, you can apply right online. All you have to do is go to Devyne Stephens Academy and just click on admissions and you can apply right there.
That's awesome. And where can they find you if they have any questions?
Sure. My website is Jewel, Jewell, hunter.com, and my Instagram is Jewel Hunter Official.
Okay.
And then the website for Devyne Academy?
DevyneStephensAcademy.com, and that's DevyneStephens Academy.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was, just to hear from your, from a teacher or from, the school's point of view, what's going on. And, for us like parents, that some of us are freaking out, like, let's say when we do go back into school, that there is a system in place that can, well, in your school, but can be in all schools, to keep our children safe,
Your principal, right? Your principal.
I am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I love it, and I love the fact that it's we got kind of like the both both sides of it. That they're actually, because I didn't know that. I didn't know you guys were doing a hybrid system. So
well, thank you all so much. I'm so glad that you invited me. Thank you.
So yeah, that was our guest. Jewel Hunter, she's a sweetheart.
Really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, let's get into we calling you out, y'all. We calling you out. and this week is not like negative, right? In any kind of way. This week we have this young lady, and it's super creative, right? She's doing putting a piece of hair, and then she's putting on like a little, I love the style for the winter. I don't know why, like something that, some quick and easy, super cute.
And actually it's almost like a quick weave, because that's kind of like how the way that she has the cap on is kind of like how you would do the quick weave,
But I don't think she put any glue.
She didn't put any glue, right?
No. Yeah, I think she just stuck it into the side, and she laid down her edges. So this is like even a good style, right? Like a protective style. Like you could braid down your hair, put some hair oil, leave-in conditioner, whatever you want to do. No wax.
Right.
But yeah, this is super cute. I feel like you could rock this in the winter, or even in the summer.
Yeah, summer, and it's just a good in-between style. You know how like those days where you just like, you about to get your hair done like 2 days later, and you just need something like right away, but your hair's looking like a mess and you don't want to wear your hair. You just, so it's a good kind of like in between.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cute and creative.
Exactly. But yeah, y'all, that's it.
That's it. Thanks for joining.
For tuning in. And tell us where they can find us, Soy.
They can find us on all platforms, Hair and Whatever podcast. Wherever you want to watch or listen to your podcast, we're there. And you guys slip into our DMs with your questions, hair questions, and just give us a
anything you want to talk about. We can talk. hair related, or even unfiltered salon talk. We have some good advice for you because we're also therapists. So, all right. So tune in. Thank you for tuning in. Hair and Whatever podcast. Peace.